Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going for the second round. Aniampofo, my good brother Shandov is also here. So kindly bring the microphone here. Shandov, bring the microphone to the front. The man in that colorful bow tie. Yes.
Good evening, Mr. President. My name is Pakwesi Shandov. I work with Wesleyan Television. This is my question. When the NDC won the 2008 elections, they were caused by a section of the party, and indeed, the party's founder for the government of the day to be tougher on past corrupt officials. But it appeared that under the impression of Father for All, your late boss, Professor Mills, was lenient, and indeed you've also been accused of that same leniency, if I have to put it that way. But years down the line, I'm inclined to ask, have you delivered yourself from that spirit of leniency? And and if you have, what are the first three allegations of corruption that you would probe if elected? I mean, on my paper, there's a plethora of them, but in your books, what are the first three that you would probe?
Thank you very much. Let's go to the middle lane. Miss Ami here.
Good evening, Mr. President. I am Sewami and I work with the EIB network. So,
and then you asked, have I exercised myself of the Father for All, the Father for All syndrome? My boss, my president, was a special person. He several times said he believed in looking forward and not looking into the past. And so I'm sure that people got away with some of the crimes that they had committed against the people. I became president 4 years later, after President Mills had done his 4 years. I mean, I came into office 5 months before the election. And so when I became president, it was going to be a bit difficult to be investigating things that happened in 2008. And so I said that, look, any allegations of corruption that are made against any public officer, I give the investigative agencies the free hand to investigate. And so I remember in those times, the National Service investigation, the JIDA scandal, people even forget that I was the one who commissioned the committee of inquiry into JIDA. And all the issues that came up, the report was presented to me as president, and I gave the report to the media. And that is referred back to me as my crime of condoning corruption. The fight against corruption begins with shining sunlight into an area, and that is what I sought to do. And so when we gave the JIDA report to you guys, it was referred to the Attorney General. And the Attorney General began to take action. Some of the people involved went to court to restrain the Attorney General, and the court processes took forever. There were others where there was prosecution of my own colleague and friend, Abu Gapele. The Attorney General put him before court and he was jailed. It was recently that President Akufo-Addo granted him amnesty. And so the will to fight corruption was there. We even retrieved monies from some of those involved in JIDA. We retrieved as much as 50 million Ghana cedis at the time. And so the track record is there. And I can assure you, if you believe that I was imbued with the Father for All syndrome, it has been exercised. And it's been exercised because it's a demand by the people of Ghana. The people of Ghana are asking for accountability. And we must create a situation where everybody who agrees to serve must know that he will be held accountable to the people. We can't afford to fail. We've seen some things that are happening in other countries. And let's not think that Ghana is immune from that. And I can tell you, our young people are getting frustrated and desperate. And if we don't take drastic action and we think that it's going to be business as usual, we will be shocked at what would happen in this country. And so, it's not my demand, it's not a threat, as Nana Jane said, it is a promise that will hold public officers accountable. And it's not going to be only post-regime accountability. It's easy to prosecute your political opponents when they've left office. But the difficult decision of dealing with your own people when they go wrong, it is what makes you pass the test of the fight against corruption. And we're going to hold our people accountable. And so, I've said it several times, if you get into trouble, I'm not going to be a clearing agent to clear you. If the investigative agencies catch up with you, you are on your own.
All right, sir.
And the appropriate sanctions will
Yes,
be taken.